In my video today, I'm going to be talking about and trying to find the answer to what is talent. Firstly, what are the perceptions of talent? One of the main perceptions and discussion points with this topic is, are you born with talent or is talent developed? Often we hear the expression that an athlete is naturally talented, so that would suggest from those words that they are born talented as it comes naturally to them. However, do people say this phrase without realising the meaning, or do people believe you are born talented? Firstly, as I have spoken about in a previous video, certain athletes do have biological advantages on other young athletes due to their parents or the environment they've been raised in. However, is that the only reason the athlete is talented? From examples of the best athletes in the world, I would say no. If we look at the top athletes across all sports, some may have had biological advantages or extra help reaching the top, but often we hear when people are talking about the great athletes in sport, how they are at the training ground at early hours in the morning and the last ones to leave at night. This is because top athletes talk about their hard work and dedication as being the factor to become talented and not the fact they were born with it. Let's look at Cristiano Ronaldo, arguably the greatest footballer of all time, who most, if not all people, would agree is a talented footballer. When other players or coaches talk about Ronaldo and his talent, often the main thing that they say about him is his work ethic and dedication to be the best. A quote from Carlos Tevez, a former teammate of Ronaldo, said, "Cristiano always stops in the gym after training. For him, it is an obsession and being the best is everything. He always arrived early to work." Tevez also said, "When the training was set for 9 in the morning, I arrived at 8 and he was already there. Even if I arrived at 7:30, he was already there. I began to ask myself, how do I get rid of this guy? So one day I arrived at 6, but he was already there." This shows the work ethic and dedication of Ronaldo, and I'm sure Ronaldo and anyone who has worked with him would say he's talented because of his work ethic and not just because he's naturally talented. In the next part of my video, I'm going to look at how we identify and detect talent. Firstly, here is a figure showing the key stages in talent identification and development process from Williams and Frank's 1998. It shows that to detect talent, we need to identify, develop and select the talent all together and do the stages together to detect and improve the talented athlete. However, detecting and identifying talent is one of the hardest things to do for a scout or as a coach, as there are late developers and the age gap in a year, as I spoke about in my biological factors video. Furthermore, the majority of young athletes who are identified as talented don't make it to the elite level and often don't even have a sub-elite career in that sport, as research in Abbott et al. 2002. On the other hand, many adult elite athletes were not identified as talented during their talent pathway, as research in Bloom 1985. A quote from Ross Tucker, a former American football player, said that talent is evaluated today with a view to tomorrow, but is based on things that happened yesterday. This quote is saying that talent should be based on the athlete's current ability and how that talented athlete can be developed into a better athlete to be talented. However, talent is based on what the athlete has already done, even if they have fully developed and peaked. Often, talent is judged on how an athlete competes in their age group, and as I've spoken about in my biological factors video, the biggest, strongest and fastest athlete that is often born in the first quarter of the year are identified as the talented ones, and they are the ones that get selected. This is because that athlete will dominate that age category due to them being bigger compared to other athletes their age, and therefore picked on current ability and not potential. However, talent identification is one of the hardest processes in sport. Often resources and spaces are limited, which means there is pressure for scouts to identify talent, and are therefore unlikely to take a risk on an athlete whose current ability isn't as good as another athlete, but who might have more potential. This is because talent identification is a budgeting decision and is almost like placing a bet, where the scouts are going with the athlete who's currently the best with the best odds and not taking a risk on someone who might have more potential. This is why, as coaches and scouts, we need to come up with a successful talent development and identification system to put the right athletes in the right environments and make the talented athletes be able to become successful. A successful talent identification system includes a high-quality training environment, realistic goals, nurturing the athlete for performance. Furthermore, a successful talent development system includes getting the athletes out of their comfort zones and providing them with role models. They also need to be individualised and flexible to adapt to each individual's needs and give these athletes preparation for elite life. Furthermore, a successful talent development system for an athlete, according to Martindale et al. 2005, has been separated into 4 sections. The first section is the long-term aims and methods of a successful talent development system, and they are vision, purpose and identity. The second section is about the coherent message and support during the pathway, and within this we need to have a consistent philosophy. We also need to utilise role models, provide a support network for the athletes, and provide forums for open and honest communication. Furthermore, in Martindale et al. 2005, another section is the appropriate development, which says de-emphasise winning, look at the big picture, provide stage-specific learning, encourage responsibility and autonomy, develop intrinsic motivation, and finally promote personal relevance. The final section in Martindale et al. 2005 is the individualised ongoing development. In this section, it says we need to provide opportunities for as many as possible, allow for flexibility in performance and physical development, identify, prepare and support individuals through roadblocks, and provide regular feedback and review goals. These are the elements a successful talent development system requires according to Martindale et al. 2005, and I believe all of these are needed. However, it is the identification process that is hard to get right. To conclude, there is no exact definition of talent. However, the athletes we classify as talented always seem to be the ones that have the best work ethic and are dedicated to be the best. Furthermore, there is no answer on how we identify at a young age who is and who isn't talented. Finally, it is unlikely we will ever find the perfect talent development system and talent identification system, as every athlete is different. However, every coach in every environment needs to work to try and get the right athlete in the right development system in order to reach their potential.